If you don't wear brown and orange, you don't matter.
Let this be a reminder to you all that this organization will not tolerate failure.
Buddy boy, I want you to get excited here.
With the first pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Mayfield.
Okay, listen up, people. I'm gonna turn you clowns into a football team.
To the best fans, the most patient fans in the league, the Browns are going to win.
When I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
Standing by, or is that the cue?
That was the cue.
Because that was like a little tap.
That was the cue.
That was the cue?
That was the cue.
So we're ready to go, though. We're here.
I mean, you're on the thing doing the talking.
I'm on TV? I'm on TV?
I don't know that I'd say TV again.
It's
this is
TV.
the internet.
Call it the interwebs,
The
please.
interwebs.
It's the technical term for it.
The series of tubes.
Yeah, that's it. You know, binary code and all that good stuff, right?
I don't know.
All right. See, I know more than you.
Binary works for me because I can't count that high anyway.
So, to two, that's the size.
Well, it's not even the two. It's just 0 and 1. There's no two.
But there's
If you're
two-
counting to
it's
two,
two
you're doing
numbers.
binary all wrong.
It's binary two. Bi as in two.
Okay.
Done with you now.
Keep
All right,
talking.
Anyway, back. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome, Kevin. Do you know what it is? Do you know what today is?
I believe it's a Victory Monday. I'm
Victory
learning.
Monday!
I'm learning. We've had a few now.
It's Victory Monday. It's Victory Monday, baby. Victory Monday.
Is that rain? Is
No,
it a
it wasn't
rainstorm?
crowd cheer. It was my crowd cheer.
Oh,
I got to get a better one.
a little bit you do.
Listen, we're still working. We're still working with things, man. Who cares? Who cares? Victory Monday is
Victory Monday is what it is.
Now listen, I know what everybody's gonna say. Oh, it's the Dolphins. I don't care. I don't care that it was against the Dolphins. You know what I care about? I care about the fact that we kicked the crap out of the Dolphins. That's what I care about. I'm in a good mood about the fact that we stomped them. There was a little bit of a lull there. We decided to do some Browns type things for a moment, which I'm not a huge fan of.
Choking?
We weren't choking. We won the game.
You did win the game.
We won the game. Not only did we win the game, we won the game rather handily as well.
Yes.
It was never. There was a moment there in the third quarter when Ryan Fitzpatrick pretended that he wasn't 36 years old and ran into the end zone and got the Dolphins to within 10 points or something like that. I think it was 28-17. Got it to them within 11. But after that, we iced it.
It could have been a bigger victory. It was not an unimpressive victory.
No, I'm struggling because listen, I'm going to start off by saying this. I don't understand. Even though I'm not here in the Cleveland area and I am where I am, I still listen to Cleveland radio. I still, I read everything Cleveland, and I'm reading and I'm hearing and I'm seeing, and everybody was complaining. I saw so much complaining going on about this game, and I got to be honest, I don't really understand why. I mean, we won a football game 41-24.
Yes.
41-24,
and there was some garbage time points thrown in there.
I don't understand what it was that people were whining about or what they wanted. We won. We won the football game. I'm excited about the fact that we won a football game. 3 in a row for the Browns.
That's what you call a trend.
That's called a winning streak. They have been known to happen. via Lou Brown.
That was great.
It feels good though. We had a 4-game losing streak. We can possibly have a 4-game winning streak. Kind of right this ship and maybe get ourselves kind of back into this thing.
Yeah.
With 4 games left to go, back in the stretch run. There's a possibility that we could do it. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the win. I am excited about the fact that Kareem Hunt scored a touchdown. Nick Chubb scored a touchdown. Jarvis Landry scored a touchdown. And OBJ scored a touchdown.
Those are 4 people you would like to be involved
That's
in the
who you want scoring
touchdowns.
touchdowns. That's why we hired them. This is the job we hired them.
That's what they're there.
We pay them good, hard-earned American currency to do exactly what they did today, and they did it.
They did.
They did it. Not today, sorry. Yesterday.
No, it was
Game
not
yesterday.
today.
You know what I mean. But they did it. They did their job. Baker had 3 touchdowns. He did have an interception, which I'm going to be honest. I'm putting that on OBJ. I know a lot of people are going to be, he threw it behind him. Don't care. I've said this since the beginning of the season. I'm at a point where with the amount of money that we're paying Odell Beckham Jr. and the talent level that Odell Beckham Jr. has, I don't care where the ball, if it hits him in his knee, I expect him to catch it. That's where I am.
Because he's OBJ.
Because he's OBJ. Anybody else, I'm not an unrealistic person.
Yeah.
I understand that it was a pass thrown behind him. I don't know if it's exactly Baker's fault, though, because that's one of those quick throws you're throwing to a spot.
Right. So if they're throwing that to Jarvis Landry and he drops it, you're okay with it?
Well, I'm definitely going to blame... No, I'm probably still going to blame Jarvis, too, for the same thing. If he throws that pass to Ricky Seals-Jones, and that's an interception, I'm definitely going to blame Baker for it. But considering that it hit OBJ in his one miraculous glue-filled hand, I don't care. I'm going to blame OBJ for that interception. But nonetheless, 3 touchdowns. He did have the 1 pick, but otherwise Baker looked really, really effective again. I think we're starting to see improvement. We're starting to see what it was that we were hoping to see. We're starting to see I mean, at one point he had I think he had 13, 14 passes in a row. He was consistent. He was stepping up in the pocket. He was moving well. Again, all of the things that we know that Baker can do, all the things that we've seen Baker do,
all the things you expect him to do at this point, honestly.
Yes. And it's baby steps, little by little by little. But again, stuff that we've been talking about, as long as you do it a little bit, just a little bit, get a little bit better every single week, keep starting to put things together. I already see you laughing. What's going on?
You say just a little bit, and all I can think of is wiggle it.
Please, no, we're not. We're not doing well.
You opened the door on this one.
All right, so listen, ladies and gentlemen.
We do have people with us.
I just want to let everybody know the Barking Lot is looking for a new producer. So if you're interested, please email me at the show.
What happened there?
All right, you're hired. You're hired again because I don't know how to fix that.
Man, I can throw bars up. Don't you worry.
I mean, do we have a hammer back here that I can use? Because that's how you fix that, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Or just unplug it, plug it back in.
Yeah.
That's how you fix everything.
That's how you fix everything.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, so as you can tell, I'm jovial. I got a beer on a Monday. I'm in a good mood. I'm feeling happy. The Browns, again, to me, feel like they're starting to turn that corner. Now, listen, and we're going to get into this in a little bit again, too, because there's no way to not talk about it. Obviously, we have a Steelers game coming up again, and there's still there's a pall cast over this team right now because of the situation, because of Helmetgate. And
that's a terrible.
No, I don't care. I'm still doing. That's what everybody does. You throw a gate at the end of it because it's a scandal. I'm calling it freaking Helmetgate.
Call it what it really is. You call it whack-a-mole.
Okay, if you want to whack a Steeler, that sounds better. We'll call it whack a Steeler. I mean, obviously, it's still lingering, and it's going to be lingering the rest of the year. I don't think that this feeling is going to go away. Winning helps.
Yes. As
the saying goes, winning cures everything. Winning makes you feel better. Winning washes away a lot of the, just a lot of the bad feelings, all of the yuck and the suck. It goes away when you win. And if we go into Pittsburgh next week, get a win, all of a sudden the Browns are feeling really, really good again because now you're 6-6.
Yes.
You have 4 games left. You're 3-0 in the division. You still have 2 games against the Bengals, who are abysmal.
Right. Another game against Miami.
Well, we don't have a game. We have another game against Baltimore.
Oh, right. Baltimore.
So we're playing Baltimore
Arizona
again.
Was the game I was thinking of.
Yeah, we have an Arizona game, and then you're starting to feel good. You can feel confident. You think to yourself, we might be able to get to that 10-6 mark. That Baltimore game is going to be huge.
It is.
Luckily for the Browns, the AFC is really not. It's not amazing. There's a few teams that are in the AFC right now that are kind of set. I can't believe Buffalo. Buffalo is 8-3. Is Buffalo for real? Sean Halloran is Buffalo for real, dude? Are these guys for real? They got a really good defense. They got a good defense. They got a young quarterback. I don't know. I can't believe that I'm saying it, but I think that they might be. But nonetheless, obviously you have New England out there. New England just keeps winning. they're a pretty terrible football team. They look like it. I know it's weird to say that New England's terrible, but they are. They're terrible.
They're not good.
They're not good, but they just keep winning every single week. I mean, and I think it's getting like worse and worse. They're like, I'm waiting to see them win a game next week, like 3-2.
It wouldn't be surprising. Honestly, at this point, it wouldn't be surprising.
Somehow just finding a way to kick a last-second field goal after Tom Brady gets sacked in the end zone and still win the game. That's how they're winning. They don't impress me. I think that they're a very beatable New England Patriots team this year, which is something that we really haven't seen a lot of in the past. So,
before we get too far
please.
off of the Steelers, we should say a very special hello to Tom.
Oh, we talking
our favorite Steelers fan. Fan of the dirtiest team in the NFL.
Oh, wow. Now he's really going to hate you. He's going to hate you, and he's going to hate me.
You're welcome, Tom.
He's going to throw things in the studio. Don't throw things in the studio, Tom. It's not necessary.
It's okay.
But
someone has to.
But I will say this, though, buddy. Your boys are going to go down, and you're going to get spanked again, and it's going to be the first time since, like, 1988 that the Browns sweep the Steelers, which that's a thing, by the way. I think it's like 88 or 89. Since the Browns have swept the Steelers in the season series, which is pathetic. But whatever. Listen, it was the last 2 weeks ago was the first time in 5 years that we beat them. If we win, it'll also be the first time since Tim Couch was the freaking quarterback the last time the Browns beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh. And I remember that game because Hines Ward got pissed and walked off the field before the game was even over because the Steelers were losing.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, but it was like 2003, 2004. It's just been... Tom, quit complaining, dude. You've destroyed us for like 2 decades. Sorry, your quarterback got bonked on the head and we won the game. Hopes he gets bonked on the head again and we win this game too. I don't care.
Just like people getting bonked.
Listen, the guy got bonked. That's all there is to it, you know. It's not like it was a malicious act of violence. I told you, again, he wasn't shanked. It wasn't a prison shanking.
Malicious?
Malicious? Did I say it wrong?
That's more better.
I got a little excited. I was, I get riled up when I start talking about the Steelers and stuff, man.
That's okay.
But listen, nonetheless, though, like I'm saying, you got to feel good. You can feel good. Now, listen, it's not a guarantee. I'm not guaranteeing that the Browns are going to go in here and win this game. They still have to play. I don't know what Pittsburgh's doing at their quarterback situation next week. That's going to have a lot to do with it. But nonetheless, looking forward, you have a chance to get back to 500 at 6-6. And when you were sitting at 2-6, wow,
that looked a long way off.
It looked like a really, really bad year ahead of us.
Yeah.
And for Browns fans, we're used to seeing 2-14, 3-13, and that's what we saw. And to have the possibility of, hey, getting this thing turned around, and I would just love to see it too, because so many people have been down. There's been so much negativity this year, and for the most part, Kevin, I think I've been pretty consistent in trying to stay the course.
Absolutely.
Preach some patience. Letting people know, hey, there was so much going on. There was such a complete game yesterday. Again, I know we played the Dolphins. I know they're terrible. I said it last week. I said the Dolphins are terrible. There's no matchups to talk about. There's nothing to discuss there. They're a terrible team. But the Browns did what they should have against a terrible team.
I'm pretty sure your keys to the game were just don't lose.
Just don't. Yeah, I mean.
No, but going back to what you were saying, these are the improvements that you've been talking about all season, needing to see to get to this point. We've pointed out the whole season that the front half of your schedule was incredibly difficult, but once you got through, basically once you got past your bye week, things started looking up.
Yeah.
Games became winnable. So as long as you could kind of not completely fall apart before week 7, things had the opportunity to turn around like this.
And looking back too, we were talking about this earlier today, Kevin. Man, the 49ers, they're just laying it on everybody. I feel bad for you, buddy.
Yeah, no, that was
bad for you.
Yeah, no,
they did you like they did us.
I'm sure that Tom will point that out to me.
Oh yeah, I'm sure now. Of course, absolutely.
No, that was a disastrous showing by the Packers in really every phase.
Like I said to you though, because I remember after that 49ers game, even for me too, I was like, wow, you just got to hand. Everybody was really down.
Because going into that game, earlier in the season, I don't think anyone thought that the 49ers were really for real yet.
Well, I sure didn't.
No.
I mean, I think that I predicted we would win that game 31-3
right,
or something outlandish like that. But then
honestly, going into last night, I still didn't necessarily think that they were for real, and yet here we are.
They're for real now. I believe now. But the point is it makes that loss that we had. It makes me feel
it looks a little bit better.
Yeah, it looks a little bit better now. Not so bad because they're doing it to everybody.
Yeah, the playoff committee is going to give you, kind of quality. Wait, no, you're not going to get quality loss points for that.
It was a good loss, I think, because San Francisco's laying it on everyone.
They are,
and the Browns have had to play some really, really stellar defenses. We had to play, San Francisco. We had to play New England, who still has a historically great defense. Buffalo has got a really good defense. Even the Steelers have a really good defense.
They do.
I mean, the Steelers have an exceptional defense. It's just that their offense is decimated and stagnant, and that's killing them. So it gives me hope. The Browns are doing some things, right. Hopefully we can get some momentum going going into the future. Do we have some questions or some
we do
comments?
We have some questions
concerns?
And comments and no concerns. Well, some concerns.
No,
Rob Kuhn points out that even the Dolphins are a team that sucks but plays hard.
Well, they do.
It's not a give me win.
No,
by
I
any
think
stretch.
the Dolphins coming into that game. It just won 2 out of 3. I mean, they had a rough start too. They were winless for the first 5-6 weeks of the season. But they got 2 out of 3 wins, so they're not a terrible team. I mean, I know I said they were terrible. They are, but they're prideful. They're going to go out there and play.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think
they've lost the number 1 draft pick, so now they've got to go out and actually play.
Well, yeah, and I don't know what Cincinnati's doing now. They're gonna start the Red Rocket again. I think they're
that's what they said. They're going back to Andy Dalton.
I don't know what Cincinnati's doing. It's just they're a train wreck like they always are. It doesn't matter.
Very quickly, he also pointed out that he was at the Jigsaw, which I'm guessing is a place that you'll know of, for that Steelers game with Tim Couch that they won in Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay, wow.
I don't know where that is. Anyway, Matthew J. pointing out 41 points. 41.
Well, and you know what? Since he chimed in, you go ahead. Let's get the call in to Matthew J. Matthew J., if you want, give the call here. I'm gonna make sure I don't hang up on Matthew J here.
Might be a good idea.
Yeah, I like the offensive output, and again, with everybody scoring, Baker Mayfield 3 touchdown passes. This is the offense that the Browns should have had. Hopefully, this gives them that momentum. Now they've proven to themselves that they can do it. They did it against the Jets. They had a great game there, but I just think that this offense has been completely out of sync. They just have not been on the same page, and slowly but surely, it's coming together. They're starting to put that in, and I'm excited about it. I want to see. This is what I want to see going forward now, though. If we can do this again against the Steelers, again, I'm not taking anything away from the Steelers defense.
No, absolutely.
They have a great pass rush. I would love to see this. So
let's see what.
All right, boys and girls, here we go. Adjusting cameras. The illustrious Matthew J.
Hey, what's happening?
What's going on, buddy? How are you? Now, hold on. Now you can hear me now, right?
I can hear you.
I have a special surprise for you.
Wait, you can mute the other dude's mic. What's his name?
Whoa. And here I was, we were going to talk about some Liverpool from the weekend.
No, there's no talking about Liverpool whatsoever.
No. Bye-bye.
No.
Was enough to get my panties in a bunch. So we're just going to move on from, I'm back on Mike's side. I'm sorry. I'm asking permission back on the bandwagon, not the Baker Kitchens bandwagon, but can I come on the Browns bandwagon? 41 points is a lot of points, no matter how many were in garbage time.
No, and listen, we got the job done when we needed to get. It was 28-0 or 28-3, sorry, but it was 20. Yeah, it was. That's a solid at halftime. It's a solid offensive put out. You know what I mean? They did what they needed to do. They were getting the job done the way that they needed to get it done. Now, let me ask you, because I'm just going to come out and ask you, how's Baker now? How are you feeling about Baker now?
I feel as good as I felt with him starting the season. I think we've dumbed down the offense for a second-year quarterback, and I'm okay with that. We've all been begging for this. We don't need these trick plays. They try to trick play.
I think that one of the things that they had in that game yesterday, there was a lot of RPOs, and I think that that's something that really plays into Baker's strengths because it gives him options. Yes. He can either just give it to Chubb or Hunt, who are both studs, or you can just rip off a quick throw, and that's all you need to do.
Right. I agree. I'm sorry, this is going to be a boring call. I agree with you.
Okay.
There's nothing to argue about.
But see, I mean, look.
I feel bad that Freddie doesn't know if he has a job next year. Because if he peels off 7 wins...
Here's the thing. I'm still not going to completely jump on you about your thoughts on Freddie Kitchens. I'm not sold on him. I'm not sold on Freddie Kitchens. I'm not piling on against him. 4 or 5 weeks ago, everybody in this city was, oh, fire him. He's in over his head. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's an idiot, blah, 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 and all this other. And I'm like, listen, you don't. I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. And the last few weeks were, listen, man, everything that we've been terrible at, we've gotten cleaned up. The penalties are going down. The turnovers are going down. The team is playing more disciplined aside from, going Braveheart on the Steelers on the field.
That doesn't count.
No, that's not coaching at all. Right. And I completely agree. But from that point on now, though, you have to say to yourself, listen, everything that we were complaining about, he's gotten cleaned up. He's still making a couple of rookie, some time management issues, which I expect. I'm not going to be upset about that sort of thing. I'm good with it. So I don't have any complaints. Where are you? Are you still anti-Freddie?
I'm not anti-Freddie. Here's the thing. You brought up the New England game a few minutes ago, and New England's winning with no talent, and they're just winning with schemes and blocks, and Brady hasn't thrown a pass over 40 yards or something. You know what I mean?
I don't even think he's thrown a pass. I mean, I don't even know what he's doing.
Okay. That's superior coaching right there.
Well,
that is superior coaching, winning football games against teams that are being outcoached and are probably intimidated by the Patriots. Let's be honest. Minus a couple turnovers, the Browns should have won that game.
Oh, well, they handed him the ball 3 times in a row. We were clearly the better team on the field that day. I don't think anybody's going to dispute that.
Okay. So, Freddie, like you said, we're not getting the fouls or the penalties. We're not getting the turnovers. How you don't run an RPO heavy offense with 2 elite running backs? We have two.
We do.
Like really elite running backs, like Duke Johnson. Seriously.
Well, I think that it took. Last week we saw Kareem Hunt come back finally. And it was cool to see him, and things were good. But now you can kind of see he's a little bit more into the flow of the offense. He was gone for the entire first half of the season. He wasn't even allowed around the team. He couldn't practice. He couldn't do anything. So to see him come, he got back a little bit early. So now he got a few weeks of practicing. I think last week or yesterday's game, you got to see Kareem Hunt kind of becoming who Kareem Hunt is. And if that keeps progressing, that's a nightmare for defensive coordinators. Absolute nightmare.
How do you stop this team?
You can't.
If everything starts to click. If we don't stumble with stupid penalties, right? Which we had a lot of stupid penalties. I mean, majority were stupid penalties. We have Conan the Barbarian with a helmet, which cannot be included. Okay. We can't count that. All right. We
Give
get
us
rid
your
of the
women.
stupid penalties and the turnovers. I can't keep a train of thought. Let me have a minute. But we stop the turnovers and make a offense that's Baker friendly, that's second-year quarterback who's short out of an SEC team. Why not?
I'm for it. And I think that going forward, the Browns are going to finish this. I think that we're going to finish this season 9-7. I hope that we finish 10-6. That Baltimore game is going to be the key. That Baltimore game is going to be a key game for us. That's a fight right there. That should be a heavyweight fight. And we beat them already, though.
We stopped them.
We did.
We contained them. We contained them. So
and
whatever we schemed there, we can scheme again.
Now we're going to be missing a big defensive piece, for the rest of the year.
Did he look? Was he missing last weekend? Was he missing yesterday?
And here's the defense, and we'll get into that in a little bit too. The defense really stepped up in yesterday's game. They created a pass rush when half of our defense, not half, Sheldon Richardson's the only guy who was there. Everybody else is gone. Olivier Vernon was gone. Obviously Miles is gone. Ogunjobi is suspended. So Sheldon Richardson's the only guy who's left on that line as a starter, and they still managed to get pressure. Again, it's Miami, I understand, but still.
No, it's not just Miami. Did people say we only beat the Browns?
What? They used to. Used to.
But seriously, it was a good team.
It's good. I'm glad to see your mood has changed a lot, because you were one of the people that were on the 480 bridge, man, and I was trying to talk you down.
I would never jump, but I was like, you know what?
You were up there. You were up there.
Let's get another quarterback. Who cares? We'll just draft another quarterback.
All right, last question for you before I let you go here. Next week, we're going to Pittsburgh. We got a chance to sweep these guys for the first time since, seriously, like 1933. It's ridiculous. We haven't won there in 2003 when Tim Couch was QB was the last time we won there, which is insane to me. Tim Couch is the last person to beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Where do you think that this game goes? How does this go? Is everybody playing tight? Is everybody playing controlled? Or is this just it's freaking the Thunderdome and everybody goes crazy?
I think we take them out impressively and really impressively. We had them beat last time. I mean, they were beaten. For sure. For sure. Handily, too. I think there's going to be a lot of handshaking before the game. Like, hey, dude, whatever happened between them two, let them have it. You know, you're my boy. Let's go play a good game. And I think we're going to own them.
I think we're going to play.
They're terrible.
I think we're going to play. Well, again, not to take away from their defense. They have a stellar defense, a great defense. But offensively, wow, it's like running in mud. They can't do anything.
But can they stop 2 elite running backs and 2 elite wide receivers?
That's a handful.
Who can stop 4 threats?
It's a handful. All right, Matthew J. Listen, man, I appreciate the call in, buddy. Anything else to add? Anything for Kevin? Do you want to throw in some soccer talk? I was
just going to throw in that I appreciate that he dressed up today and didn't call in from his pedophile van in the parking lot of who knows what school.
I'm pretty sure that he was behind the Dollar General. It looked like he was next to a meth lab or something. I'm pretty sure that's.
No, I don't know about the meth lab, but I was in the Dollar General.
That's fantastic.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. If the Browns go into the playoffs, I will come make a studio appearance.
You're going to drive all the way down to the studio?
Yes.
All right, well then, you're going to buy beer then too, right?
I will bring you some of that special coveted Christmas
ale.
That's
what I'm talking about.
From 2 different breweries.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
If Kevin allows me to just sit there and make me sound as good as he makes you sound.
No, we can't.
I think this is fair game.
We'll put him in the corner. I have no problem putting him in the corner.
No, he can stay in his seat.
And then we'll call him Baby.
And
we'll put Baby in the corner.
If he makes that trip, I will gladly give up the microphone and just punch buttons.
I do not want the microphone. I will sit in the corner and just be like, I'm here.
And just drink and tell us about the Dollar General that you visit on a regular basis.
I'm not trying to steal your seat. I don't want your thunder.
That's too funny.
I'm good enough.
All right, buddy. Thanks for giving the call, man. We will see you again next week.
Thanks, man.
Matthew J, everybody.
Take care, you guys.
Matthew J.
Oh, that's always entertaining.
Positive
I love those
contribution
calls.
to the show.
I know.
Every single time. I like he was dressed up.
He was.
Now,
had the collared shirt. He's dressed nicer than either of us right now.
It looked like a yellow shirt, though. I think that's kind of bad form considering we're playing the Steelers.
I don't know. That light was blinding everything, so it could have just been a cream or maybe an off-white.
A cream color. With a creamsicle shirt. All right, well, I won't pick on his shirt, but yeah, he didn't look like Ben Roethlisberger in that particular interview.
No, not too bad for a change.
All right, Kevin, where are we at? Do we have any questions? Any more questions, chime-ins and stuff?
We've had a few people join us as well. Bianca Gooden has joined us again.
Hello, Bianca. How are you?
And Rob Kuhn also surprised about some of the coaching adjustments. And you know how that's panned out.
It's gone well.
It has.
It's gone well. I think that we're getting control. And by the way, listen, this was the first show that I finally got. Just like the Browns are trying to get a little bit better every single week, Kevin. We say that we're trying to get a little bit better.
I know.
Every single week, and I think we're doing it.
We're close to playoff form.
We're getting there. We're almost. It's kind of starting to look like a television show now.
Just a little bit.
It looks like we're actually doing some things. This was the first show that we actually got an actual mix for Skype, so that Kevin
could actually talk to him for a
can talk to the
change?
caller, and the caller can hear me better, and anything that I'm playing. So now that I know for a fact that we have that ironed out,
We do.
we're gonna have to, get some more people lined up. Rob definitely wants to be on. I know P Dubs wants to be on.
Yes.
So we'll get him on. Brian Hoychek, I know you're watching. I know you want to be on. We'll get you on as well. We'll get a couple other people. I got some characters that want to come on and give their opinion.
I enjoy it because then that's the less I have to say, and I just get to laugh at everything.
As long as everybody's having fun, and the more involved people can be. So now that we have that worked out, I promise. I know I keep promising people things, but this time I actually mean it. I mean it this time. We're getting things to work. It's fun.
Well, and let's also give you some credit for getting the kennel looking so good. I mean, we got the brownie up there. We got Big Mike as always.
Big Mike.
We got your ad here for our sponsors.
I got the lights on this week too.
No, we forgot those last week. I'll take the
I
blame
didn't have
for
the
forgetting that.
orange glowing lights turned on.
I see Bernie's little head back there too.
Oh, it's Bernie. Everything's starting to look so good. It feels so good.
It does.
Little sound things. We'll get it clipped up.
You know what else is starting to look good and feel good?
I like your segue. I
Hey,
like
see
what
that?
you did there.
I'm teeing you up here.
It was good. You did. You teed me up, man.
This is also the beauty of having a preview monitor, so Mike can actually see where I'm going with things.
It's
before we
great.
get here.
It's like we're professionals. It's fantastic.
It's crazy. Here we go.
Baker.
Boom.
Baby. Baker. I wish you could switch so everybody could see you dancing
No.
like that. Because
See,
that's the
that's
most the caucasity of you dancing like that in my garage.
That's the beauty of controlling the cameras, is I know no one can see it.
But no, listen, you can't be upset with Baker right now. You can't.
No.
And the way that he has turned things around, and I talked about it with you. We've been talking about it a whole lot. I just talked about it with Matthew J. A lot of people were so down on Baker. The first 7 games, how can you not be? He had 6 touchdowns. He led the league in interceptions.
Right.
12. Terrible QBR. He was taking a lot of sacks, just forcing throws. Just didn't look good. We talked about him running out of clean pockets, constantly scrambling to his right, doing things that just didn't look. He did not look the way that he did last year. And everybody's kind of like, who's this guy? Mm-hmm. What kind of sophomore slump is he having right now? Excuse me, everybody. What kind of slump is he having? And now, though, he's turned it around. The last 4 games, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception, over 100 quarterback rating. He's only taken 6 sacks. He's moving within the pocket.
Right.
He's making things happen with his feet. He's stepping into throws. He's not running. He doesn't look panicked. He doesn't look flustered. And, Kevin, we talked about what did we need to do to get Baker.
Right.
Was it a Baker problem? Was it a Freddie problem? Was it a scheme problem? What did he need to do to get fixed? Where do we need to go to make improvements? And I was of the opinion that it was a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. I thought that, his receivers needed to, to bail him out. For starters, stop having passes go off your hands, with these guys. He needed to stop with the slow developing plays. Let's get the ball out of his hands quickly. Do things that he was doing last year to be more decisive. Mm-hmm. And wow, that's exactly what we're seeing. And it's not like this was a 1-game thing now. Now we're getting into, this is 3-4 weeks. Now this is becoming a pattern. Now this is when you can start to say, okay, I think he's breaking out of it. He's getting out of that slump. He's shaking the funk off. And you can see it in his body language, too. I mean, Baker's a very emotional guy as it is. He always plays with a lot of fire and a lot of passion. When he's not playing well, he's going to show that he's not playing well. He's angry. He's pissed off. He's not pouting. He's not like sitting, with his head slumped over. He's angry, and you could see that he's angry.
Agitated.
He was. You could see it in the post-game press conferences.
Yep.
And
in his shaving choices.
I think he put that one to bed finally, which is good. It's probably for the best, But you see him when I know when I see Baker running down the field, windmilling, screaming and hooting and hollering. That's when you're like, all right, he's back.
Well, and that in talking about OBJ and the catches you expect him to make, and that's what you got him for. Those are the moments that you got Baker for.
Oh, of course.
That's what you expect.
Yeah, that's what John Dorsey expected when he took him number 1.
Absolutely.
And he was making those plays last year. And at the beginning of this year, it just wasn't there. Yeah. Something was off. And it's back.
We talked about that turnaround. And honestly, until we were putting together this graphic today, I didn't realize the turnaround was that pronounced.
It was.
It absolutely was.
And, again, that one interception there, I jokingly, I say I'm putting it on OBJ, but I don't really know. It is one of those things where you're throwing it to a spot. It was a quick throw, and it did hit him in the hand. Let's just say that it was, on Baker, and that's a bad toss. Whatever. That's 8 touchdowns, 1 interception again, and his accuracy has gone way up too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When he was at his worst, he had a 13 rating, I think, in that one game, and I mean, it was bad. He was just there was no chemistry. There was nothing going on anywhere, and you could see it. And now he's hitting 10. This is like a couple weeks in a row now where he's hit like 10 passes in a row, and he's stringing them together, and he's doing it in drives, in scoring drives. The red zone production has gone up. We were struggling in the red zone. We could not score, and we're getting into the red zone, and we're scoring. We're putting points on the board. Things are happening. How do you not get excited about this? How can you not be? I am. I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
And going back to some of the coaching, Rob Kuhn pointing out in chat as well that he's had much more of this success as they've gone to more of the play action and run pass option.
Well, absolutely. I mean, and certainly I think that, again, having Kareem Hunt in the mix adds another dimension to it. But, wow, having a guy like Nick Chubb, the dude is just a beast. And when you and I don't think that anybody really took Nick Chubb as seriously as they should have earlier in the year. He's been having a stellar season. But I think earlier, probably because we were mired in losing,
right?
Everybody's like, he's doing all right, but who cares? The Browns are 2-6. What does it really matter? Blah, blah, blah. Well, now that he's kept going at the level that he's going, and he's an upper echelon back in the NFL.
Now people are paying attention.
Now they're paying attention to him because they have to. And defenses are keying on him. And when a defense starts keying on the running back, that's when you have the opportunity to start cutting off the safety, going over the top, and doing those play action passes. And that's where we are. That's when your offense starts to become almost unstoppable because you don't know what to do. And when you have guys like Jarvis Landry and you have OBJ out there, and we're getting David Njoku back next week. I mean, he's cleared. He came off IR. He didn't play, and if he did play, I don't think he got any snaps. I don't even know if he dressed. I'll be honest. Maybe that's a bad job by me. But he didn't play. But that's another weapon that you're getting. The Browns are getting all of these pieces and getting them all put together correctly at the perfect time of year. And this is how you want to finish. This is what you're looking for when you're talking about having an offense that is elite. And that's what we're doing.
Yes.
We're doing it. We're putting it together, and it's happening piece by piece, organically. I told you guys. I told you. I don't like to be the guy that says, I told you so, Kevin.
In this case, you did, though.
But I told you so. I told you so, Cleveland. Settle down, everybody. Simmer down. Nah.
Now, I will say, Rob was on a great streak there. And then he had to go and bring up the Packers, and
they shit the bed.
You're muted now, Rob. I'm no longer listening to you. No, but he brought up that Freddie also learned to take the points and kick a field goal, which is part of what cost the Packers so bad last night.
I mean, again, people were dogging on Siebert because he missed a couple of kicks. My goodness, man! Like the dude's been money all year. He misses a field goal, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's a bum." Like I don't understand how people get so fired up over things, but he did. We were finally kicking field goals, and we were putting points on the board, and that's what you want. It's just everything is different. It's just all the way around. Everything has looked different than it did the beginning of the year. Where we should be kicking a field goal. We're going for it, and we're not scoring. We're trying to score in the red zone. We're not scoring at all. It's turnovers and balls, off receivers' hands and interceptions and just all kinds of stuff that it's detrimental. And it was down, and it just seemed to cascade. And unlike other Browns teams, unlike what we've seen so many times in this city, we stopped the bleeding.
Right.
We stopped the bleeding. We turned it around. And we righted the ship, and it's so refreshing to see. And I've had faith that we were going to do that because I could not believe that all the talent on this team, it was just going to go in the toilet. I could not believe that.
So what you're saying is
plowing dudes.
Oh,
no.
Well, kind of. So what you're saying is you got to have faith.
A little bit of faith, yes. But I don't. Where you
George Michael.
I know. Are you? Limp Bizkit did it better. I'm just saying, throwing that out there. No, I didn't. I didn't even mean that. I couldn't even say that with a straight face. Limp Bizkit.
We used to be professionals.
We're done now. I think that YouTube is probably
now.
going to kick us off our own show.
I mean, for the Danger Zone clip alone, but whatever.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, we're gonna head to Pittsburgh. Moving along, Kevin. Let's take a look at the scoreboard here. Let's show where I'm at.
Boom.
The Browns and Shooter, both 5-6 on the year. I'm at 2 in a row now.
You are.
I'm at 2 in a row. Browns are at 3 in a row. I think that we're going to keep this going. I don't see that there's any reason to stop this because we're going to Pittsburgh. It's rivalry week. Wow, that's hard to say. Rivalry week. I don't know why I'm...
It's not that hard.
Well, can you say it?
Rivalry week?
Yeah, all right then. Look at you. How do you feel now?
Rivalry week. No, I can't talk.
Yeah, no. It's rivalry week.
There
I
it
got
is.
it out.
Oh, you
yeah,
nailed
like a
it.
professional. All right. Not only I'm so excited about this weekend. I'm so excited because this is a rare occurrence. This is like planets aligning. The Browns are playing the Steelers.
They are.
And the Buckeyes are playing Michigan.
I can't believe you said it.
Woo, baby.
You're going to lose now.
Woo, baby.
You got to take that seriously. You can't say that word.
Listen. Hush.
I'm just saying.
I have my own show. I can do whatever I want. I'm special.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that now you're going to lose.
We're playing the school up north.
Thank you.
And it's gonna
I hate them for entirely different reasons.
You just hate. You're hating to hate. You hate Ohio State. You hate Michigan. You hate everybody.
I do. But this week, especially Minnesota.
Win some football games, man. You'll feel better. That's all I'm saying to you.
Win some football games?
We've
won many football games.
Not that many, though. I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
I think if you look at our record, why are we need a separate show for college.
You're getting
we need to have
right
a separate show for college because I will take you to school there.
We can do that, too. But nonetheless, listen, it's an exciting
let's
weekend.
Go back to where we're at.
Ohio State and the school up north and the Browns Steelers. Browns are going into Pittsburgh. We're going to stomp them. We're going to stomp them. Tom, I'm sorry. I know you're going to be upset to hear that. You're going to be like, the Browns suck. Blah. You can say whatever you want, buddy, but you're going to get killed. They have a great defense, but the Browns, I think they just have too much. Like they had too much a couple weeks ago. They're going to have too much again. But I think that you're going to see a little extra. There's going to be a little... There's gonna be some hot sauce on the sandwich this weekend. You know what I mean?
Be some late shots at knees.
And here, well, let's listen now. Hold on. I know that, Kevin, you hate this.
God, no, I do. I really do.
He's so against this right now. But
go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know if it's playing. There we go. Yeah, there we go.
So
this is instead of a piñata.
I mean, it's still a piñata.
It is a piñata, but it is. Listen, this is Cleveland. This is what happens. What do you expect? Look at that parking lot, too. It looks like a bomb went off in that parking lot. It's absolutely
about 7
ridiculous.
different asphalt patches in
there.
there.
I don't know how well it's playing right now. I think it kind of
Who's this dude in the Dolphins jersey? Like, what is he even doing?
I'm
and
surprised.
Is that a Marino jersey?
I
think it's a Marino jersey, too.
I think so, too, yeah.
I'll give him credit for that.
Listen, this is creativity right here, man. They're swinging this thing around, and they're wreaking havoc, and they're doing things that... You can find it online. Just look up Brown's Piñata. Everybody in Cleveland knows about that thing anyway. So, but that makes me laugh because not only the fans feeling this way. I think that's how a lot of the players are going to be feeling too. There's going to be extra on this because of the entire situation that happened. And I'll just listen. I don't know what to think about it. I don't know what to say about it. I still think that the whole thing stinks to high heaven right now. There are so many questions that still have not been answered about this. The thing that upsets me the most.
Yeah.
Kevin, you know, and listen.
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
Because we do this.
Yes.
This is like we do this professionally. We get paid money to make football games on television, and we know how this works. Mason Rudolph was mic'd in that game. He was mic'd in that game, like all quarterbacks are during games, but especially on a Thursday night, nationally
Marquee
televised.
Yes.
It's primetime TV, division rival. He's mic'd. He had a microphone on him. Now the accusation comes out that he used a racial slur against Myles Garrett, and that's why Myles Garrett lost his mind and went just full-blown berserker. Okay. The NFL basically is like, I don't know. Nothing to see here. We couldn't find anything. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. And I know something, and you know something. We both know that that's bullshit.
Yes.
We both know that.
Yes.
Because he was mic'd. And at this point, you're hanging both of these guys out to dry.
Absolutely.
Because you have a bunch of people who think, on one hand, that Mason Rudolph is uttering racial slurs to players.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other hand, you've got a group of people who think that Myles Garrett is the next Jussie Smollett, and he's making things up.
Absolutely.
And he's playing the race card, and blah, 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 blah. And the NFL knows the answer. I know that they know the answer.
Just put the video out.
And that's all you need to do. If it and no matter, and here's the thing, it doesn't matter which way it goes.
It doesn't.
If he said it, if he did say something bad, you know what? That's too bad. You let him. He said it. He lives and dies by his own merits based on that, and then whatever fallout comes from it. But then you have to start looking at Myles Garrett and saying, I can see why he did what he did.
Well, also the helmet getting ripped off, the kick in the nuts.
Right. I'm not going to justify what Myles Garrett did.
No, that's not what this is about.
It was above and beyond.
Right.
But if that's what happened, then you have to sit there and say, listen, you can't have that on a football field either. And he was already taking all the other stuff, the helmet twisting, getting hit in the balls, all of that. You put all of that together, and you've got to start to have a little modicum of sympathy for Myles Garrett. On the flip side, if he didn't say anything, and Myles Garrett went into the NFL office and lied,
that's a whole other problem.
But you know what? I'm going to be fair. I'm going to say you put that out there as well.
Right.
And then you have Myles Garrett get whatever scarlet letter he's going to get that he would deservedly get at that point. He's going to be in way more trouble. Next year, if it comes out that there was nothing that was said, that indefinite suspension is absolutely going to stretch into next year.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one of the things that the NFL is going to say to even consider this. You have to apologize for saying that happened.
And say that
now,
you lied.
There's a whole other thing that what happened in that NFL meeting was supposed to remain confidential. That never should have made it public anyway.
I have no idea how that gets leaked or released.
The NFL.
And I just, there's... And now David DeCastro was on the field, and he's not allowed to talk. He's not allowed to talk. So there's so much going on behind the scenes. And that's the part that I know I'm going to speak for almost all Browns fans right now. We can't let it go. We're not going to let it go, because if it was just a cut and dry situation, we could, all right, fine. We could bitch about, the penalty or the suspension. The NFL, it is specifically stated in the collective bargaining agreement, you cannot get an indefinite suspension for something that happens on the field. You can't. It's in the CBA. And
that's interesting. I didn't know that fact.
It was. So the NFL was like, they met with Myles Garrett, and they're like, yeah, we know we can't do that, and going to do it anyway. Tough. You can't just... So the NFL is just going to make up rules now? So here's...
This is hardly the first time the NFL has just made up rules.
Right, no, but here's what I'm thinking. I think that maybe what should happen is the Browns, during the offseason, should sign every marquee free agent available. Every single freaking one of them. And when we're over the salary cap by $300 million, we'll look at the NFL and go, we know, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to do it anyway. Because if they can make up rules and just violate the CBA and do whatever the hell they want, we should be able to do that too. Because it's unfathomable to me. They literally were like, yeah, we know that. We know that's a thing. We know it, but we don't care.
No.
We're just going to completely ignore that part, and we're going to do whatever we want anyway. So this whole thing stinks to high heaven. And it's got Browns fans fired up. It's got everybody fired. I know it's got Steelers fans fired up. They have just as much of a right to be fired up over this as well. I don't really care. I'm not sympathetic towards them because I've dealt with so much crap from that team for years that I'm happy that we finally got one. I'm glad they're pissed off and they're over there boo-hoo-hoo and they're, this isn't fair, and that guy hit my guy in the helmet. Nah. Let me go wipe my crocodile tears with my tampon. Shut up. I don't care. Whine. I don't care. How does it feel? Good. I'm glad. But I gotta calm down there.
You feel better?
But it's not fair to them on certain levels.
Right.
As far as what was or wasn't said. This whole thing's got to get resolved. And I think
this wouldn't be the NFL if they didn't completely mismanage the entire thing.
No,
that's what they do.
Here's the thing: did they really, or do you think that this is kind of manufactured to make a little extra drama on Sunday?
I think it's a little of both.
Now, I mean, they did drop our game. The kickoff was supposed to be 4:00, and they bumped it down to 1. I think if they could have, they made them play this game at 9 in the morning.
Wow.
Fly them all to London and kick off at 7 a.m. so even less people are watching.
The big unresolved question mark for me is who got fined the most for what happened?
I'm pretty sure it was Mason Rudolph.
It was.
Yeah, he got $50,000 for it. And that's...
Why? If he didn't do anything, why is he getting a $50,000 fine? If he didn't say anything, why is he getting a $50,000 fine?
How do you reduce Marquise Pouncey's suspension from 3 games to 2? So what you're effectively saying is you can swing on a player multiple times, you can stomp on his head, you can kick him in the helmet, and you only get 2 games for it. What's the justification for it?
You can do something. You cannot retaliate to it. But if you retaliate to someone else's retaliation, that's okay.
No, exactly, because that's the point.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
If you're going to make the argument that he's going to get a little bit of a break because he was retaliating for what Myles Garrett did, Myles Garrett was retaliating for what Rudolph did. So that's logic.
Myles Garrett was retaliating for what Mason Rudolph tried and failed to do.
I think that ultimately, us as fans, we can argue about this all we want.
We can,
but
it's fun.
But the players, they know too. The players are all aware of this. They understand what's happening. They probably have a better understanding of it than we do. I think that it was also a pretty telling situation that Mason Rudolph went out in the game yesterday and got his ass beat, and it was eventually benched for ineffectiveness because he was getting his ass beat. And then, amazingly, the second that Hodges comes in, everybody started blocking for him. And on the third play, he threw a 79-yard touchdown pass. Now, that's interesting. I wonder if there was a little something involved there. Like, maybe, I don't know, the offensive line knew something, and they were like, hey, guess what?
Eat it.
Guess what's going to happen now? Oh, see this guy? Yeah, I'm not going to block him. No, I'm not going to block him. I'm going to let you get destroyed because of what you did. I mean, I don't know that for a fact. That's a conspiracy theory on my part.
It is.
It's
I like it though.
It's a we didn't land on the moon theory, but
really, that's the option you're going to go with.
Well, it's not quite the same thing.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, I don't know for a fact that that's the case. But all of this stuff is going to carry. I don't see that there's any way that this doesn't carry over into this game, and I think that there's just going to be. It's gonna be some extra mustard on the hot dog.
There will.
It's gonna be a chippy thing here. So. That's my take on all of it. We got what else we got, Kevin? I see you looking.
We've got several more things here. Backing up to the pinata video. Rob will unmute you. Fine. He would recommend and no fans taking their pinata party to Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
that would probably be a bad.
I would not recommend doing that. You can't take that to Pittsburgh. They don't. That's not going to go well. I'll tell you that.
No,
you're not going to deal with that there.
Meanwhile, there was a little side conversation in the chat here about college football and the playoff. We'll skip that, and I'll just knock things really loudly.
Yeah, don't hit your microphone like you're Myles Garrett throwing it at Steelers quarterback.
Wow.
Sorry, man. Keep going.
It's a new mic stand. I'm getting used to the placement.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if by popular demand you want the college football show, I can talk college football all day long too. Kevin,
it's gonna be.
I mean, I don't think that you're.
Are you trying to suggest that I cannot talk college football?
No, I'm not. I don't.
Because I know a whole lot more about college football than I know about the Browns, and I fake this really well.
I think that you're obvious. We've had many conversations about college football. I'm very aware that you're a knowledgeable guy about college football.
And at least we're both Big Ten fans.
That's true. Down here, just
that.
die in an SEC country. These honks, I hate them all. And Clemson, Alabama, Clemson. Oh, I'm so sick of it.
I hate them all. Meanwhile, actual conversations. The big question of the day.
Big question. Is this
from the 20 years of suck?
From the 20 years of suck, the P-Dub question of the day. P-Dub are definitely going to get you out.
Favorite spectacular fan moments. And P-Dub's keeping it topical with the Pinata video. Props for that. Excellent work. His favorites would be the fan that in his eulogy asked to have 6 Browns pallbearers so they could let him down one more time. and the fan that got arrested for peeing on Art Modell's grave.
Wow. Which that's so. Listen, I have no love for Art Modell, certainly, nor does anybody in Cleveland. But wow, that guy really beat this on his grave, and I was like, Jesus, man, like.
That's a whole other level.
That's a different level of just that's anger. That's definite extra anger.
Yeah.
I don't know if this counts, and it certainly doesn't go in our favor at all. But it's maybe it's apropos because it's Brown Steelers week. But at the stadium, this is I don't remember when it was. This is probably 10 years ago, easily. But a fan ran out onto the field and went after the Steelers while they were doing pregame warm-ups or whatever. And James Harrison picked him up and just drove him right into the ground. It was so savage. You can find it. Go on YouTube. Just go James Harrison Browns fan. You can find it. I'm pretty sure it was James Harrison. I don't know. It was a decade ago. But it was like, yeah, you showed him. You got him, man. Clearly the guy was just hammered out of his gourd.
Yeah.
And he was, carted off the field on a stretcher because he was almost murdered. So I don't know. I mean, I guess.
And he faced an indefinite suspension for that?
I think he did, actually, as a matter of fact. Yeah. So I don't know. That was a suck fan interaction moment.
Especially for the fan.
Oh, God, that poor guy. He's probably still in a wheelchair.
P-Dub's also saying, let's change the subject, come to some actual football-related things. Swag Jr. is 3-0.
Swag Jr.
I don't know. That's what it says. I assumed you knew.
It's our dog. It's our dog.
Oh, right. No, I forgot about that. We had the picture and everything the other week.
We did. Well, that's exciting. Yeah. I don't know what that has to do with football, though, man. I mean, it has to do with the mascot.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I'm 2-0, man. I'm 2-0 the past two. I got a streak going myself here.
2-0 is not a streak.
I made it my streak.
No, that's not. You can't just.
Do you see this? I made my own show, so I can make my own streaks.
No, that's like calling something the first annual.
I just did.
It's not a thing.
Just did.
It's not until you have a third.
It's the first annual.
Oh my!
I will show.
No.
No.
That is a phrase that makes me want to vomit.
First annual. How about just the first?
Yes.
It's the first.
Yes, and then the second is the second, and the third is the third annual.
All right. Well, we can argue.
There are rules.
I'm finishing my coffee.
This is what keeps us a civilized society.
Finishing my coffee. All right. What else have we got? Anything else to wrap us up, Mr. Producer here?
I have nothing else.
All right. Don't forget to show off your Scottish hammer.
Oh, the Scottish hammer shirt.
Don't forget to show off the Scottish hammer. Make sure that we get Brian Zabo's logo up here. Zabo Apparel.
That's what I was working on when I was so rudely interrupted.
This is one of my favorite ones. If you're not wearing orange or brown, you don't matter.
It's okay.
It's not okay. Listen. That's a Freddie Kitchens quote. He's our leader, and that's what I'm going with.
It's okay.
All right. So yeah, check him out. Zabo Apparel.
There it is.
All kinds of really, really good stuff. The guy's got some great apparel. Give him a look. Zabo Apparel, the unofficial official sponsor.
The unofficial sponsor. And don't forget, if you would like to be a more official sponsor, we have room here.
Yeah, you can send us money and we'll put up, why you got... We almost made the whole show without a forehead joke.
I know.
Right at the very end.
Gotta squeeze it in.
I don't even have a hat on this week. It's probably just glistening.
Yeah, a little bit.
These things happen. All right. In any event, make sure you check out all the links too. Kevin, those are up there somewhere.
They're at the bottom of the screen there.
All right, they're up on the bottom of the screen. Check out the Twitter. We should get we got to do some more Twitter polls. I blame myself for that.
I blame you for that.
I'm the driver of the car, so I got a lot. I'm wearing a lot of hats here, man. I got a lot going on. But listen, check out all of the links. Make sure that you're mashing the subscribe button. You're mashing the like buttons on all that stuff, especially on YouTube. That's a big deal for us. We're trying to finish strong, just like the Browns. After we kick the hell out of the Steelers this week, we got 4 games left. We're going to make a push for the playoffs. We're going to make a push for the playoffs as well. We are going to finish super strong.
We're ready to go.
I think we're there. I think we got the camera situation worked out. We got switchers and computers and all kinds of stuff. What do these buttons do, Kevin?
There's so many of them.
I'm gonna take a page out of Russ's, but it's as long as you know the ones that light up, everything should be good. That's what Russ says, right?
Yeah.
As long as they light. Yeah. All right.
If only you would have had a chance to ask him this weekend.
I don't know. I didn't get a chance to see him. It was unfortunate. You can't.
That's unfortunate for you.
It is. Somebody's a little salty.
I am a little salty.
All right, Salt Chuck and Kevin. All right, boys and girls, thanks for checking us out. Thanks for listening. Tell your friends. Spread the links. Spread the words. Go Browns, man. We're going to kick the hell out of the Pittsburgh Steelers this week. Suck it, Tom. See you later.